hot thighs, yeah, used to hot box, smack your like some hot rods, running like a stop. Woke up, took a deep breath, realized I was suffocating from real niggerism. I ain't even have to eat yet, got a full plate, recognizing they don't recognize my rhythm. Tell a devil he can eat a dick, real spit, that's lit. I know, cause I'm bugged while he's down on his lugs. Feel his guts with village rust, been eating us blunts. Fast 4,795 months, but we finna take over for the 9. Once and for all, glass slipper in the jaw. Later, liberties are trying to gotta kick in the balls. About just cause, every beat has false or close, but us can't even call for help. All we have is so-called knowledge of self. Even that's manufactured whole pride is kept. More money, more problems, we acquire more debt. Generational wealth at the bottom of a well. Solitary confinement in a mighty concept. In a land which no man dwell. All the violence being felt. Neck harnessed with a noose. Whip back full of wealth from the terror in your eyes. To the vision of the youth. Deformed, be born, about to see 4 units in the city in the drop. That's Lino. Separate your wig from your scalp. That's chemo. Sabi, no weed, no molly. Act bevo, lottie. That Hollywood shit is for the birds. Frankly, I'm really perturbed. Just in anyone served. The people that deserve a hero reserved. And regal immersed. The evil in a place with a race that emerged. Illegal got zero tolerance for ego. Tolerance. I see no progress. Why we so confident? Cold day in hell when this hell freezes over you. The only thing colder is the stare of a warrior. The talent's hella watered down. The truth is always over you. Endure to the end. Even when it lies in the den and it's time to make amends. Glass ceilings brassing over. My profession is connected with the shot thighs. Yeah, I used to hot box, smack your like some hot rods, running like a stopwatch. Everything top notch when they want my hopscotch flip flop. Listen like some titties out of crop top. City on block clock. Nigga know a nigga talking patois. Everybody back off. 3, 2, 1, finna blast off. Drop a bitch, how they do it in a dance hall. WWE on the freak, J Dez want the beat, so it's always eat. No, we always eat good. Fleetwood making out of each hood. Holy is the priesthood, superior to preachers, fucking blood and drink blood. The condition of my people, he's an emo for religion, and the alternate opinion is an enemy of God. Been raped, robbed, murdered, forgot. With a victim mentality, we created a facade with the makeup on. It's a ruse, mirage, abused by the blase blob. This is all they folk, this is all they folk. By they, I mean white folk, Caucasians, cavemen. The synagogue of Satan is a fine dog, blazing. I'm a stupid in the mind. I was high to the slaying niggas going Super Saiyan, growing beards. It's amazing. Go to church, that's pagan, that cross, that hangman, a cranium for maintaining all dethroned. But to break that mold, I rip the soul out with a switchblade. Let it know not to be bitch made. You'll find out on this day. It's the Lord's battle, so shit take. A cold day in hell when this hell freezes over you. The only thing colder is the stare of a warrior. The talent's hella watered down. The truth is always over you. Endure to the end. Even when the lies in the den and it's time to make amends.
I've been taking too many days off, now I'm on the move, trying to save y'all. Woke up to the news, it's a blaze, wishing death to fake Jews like I'm Adolf. And I'm screaming more fire, give them more fire, I just gotta pray for more fire, I'm hoping he coming more fire. I ain't get no sleep cause of y'all, I promise you that y'all won't get no sleep cause of me. When a nigga lick his plate, that's when dogs eat. Find me with my lost sheep, setting fire to the streets as I speak. For whatever man's soul shall he reap. And my people was sold like some fucking raw meat. What you thought that I would let that slide? You owe me, and I want your ass in chains. Cracker get below me. Same to the Arabs, the Africans, Chinese, and Jewish men. Not cause of your skin, but you played a hand in my demise. Got rich off our lives and filled the world with lies. You preyed on the feeble minds, now you gotta pay the price. And you gon' pay with your life because your forefathers gone. Make amends with your sins, it's gon' get worse if you don't. Woe to the wicked who think that this shit is all just a joke. Pray for my bruise up in Cali cause it's up in smoke. Stole our identity, then you kept it all hidden. We didn't deserve the way you was dealing with us so differently. Didn't we have identity? Damn it, that's just a memory. But now we about to double the ante through our divinity. Taking too many days off, now I'm on the move, trying to save y'all. Woke up to the news, it's a blaze, wishing death to fake Jews like I'm Adolf. And I'm screaming more fire, give them more fire, more fire. I just gotta pray for more fire, more fire. I'm hoping he come with more fire, more fire. More fire, more fire. All praise to the most higher. In the name of the most Messiah, I speak the truth, I ain't no liar. I can tell you a hoe by your sweet words, and I don't like your true bitter, and it better bite you like Ventura. I'm on fire. I know, I sound like I'm losing it. I play to win. I'm nothing like these losing kids that rap about gangster shit. They know they never did. I keep it real, more authentic than average. I grew up with savages, been around the green where the cabbage is, but I never met a real nigga that's legit, cause a real nigga tell it how it really is. The Hebrew.
Your eyes were not playing tricks on you. NASA confirming at least 65 fireballs were seen across Florida skies just after sunset.
More fire, more fire.
Alright, hey, shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Brakathum to all the brothers, and Yahweh Shema Alathan Bashem Yahweh Shah to all the sisters. Please, if you in here, let it be known. Drop something in the chat so we know you up in here. Please, man. I got a question from Thaweezy the Prince.
Hey, shalom, priest. Y'all bashing this over
What's going on, y'all? Bashem Yahweh Shah Brakathum.
kind of the water for taking my question. I just wanted to ask if you could fact check something I was gathering. It's a Hebrew name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's off of Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. And I was just, I was wondering if you can make sure I got it right as far as pronouncing the name and putting it together. So whenever you get it, you can just let it know.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up in the Blue Letter Bible. Proverbs 9 and 10.
Okay.
You said the word means what?
Okay, so the word I'm trying to get is fear, right?
Okay.
And I see it's Yah-Ra-ah. So that's how you would pronounce it, right? Yah-Ra.
Yara. That sounds correct. It
Okay.
comes from the root word Yara. This is the feminine noun. So okay,
Feminine.
with the ha at the end, you see how there's a ha right here at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, that it's supposed to be pronounced separately. Whenever it's a feminine noun or feminine word, it would be Yara. But you know how black people talk, it doesn't really necessarily have to be, the ha doesn't have to be emphasized. You could just make it Yara. But like you would have certain words like Ra'ai, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now Ra'ai, if you don't put the ha, if you don't make the ha sound for the feminine Ra'ai ha, you get what I'm saying? You won't know that it's feminine. You'll think it's just masculine. Same thing with this root word here. You see it says Yara.
Mm-hmm.
You won't know if it's this root word you're saying or the feminine version, which means, like you said, fear, terror, fearing. Go to the root word, H3373.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just Yara. Still means the same thing. It's just feminine, and this one is just an adjective.
Just the adjective. So
right. So the other one is a noun.
It's a noun.
This one is an adjective.
Okay, so the adjective will be more fitting for let's say a man, a male.
Well, the adjective will be more fitted for if you're talking about something having fear or afraid, something that's afraid. The noun is the actual fear itself. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that just has just has a feminine connotation to it, or better in better terms, it would be subservient.
it's a subservient term.
Okay. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong on the part of speech, right? If you could get me right on that.
Part of speech that this
Uh,
is. Oh, my
e-
bad.
no, my bad. I was just not because the water too, because I didn't know, with the high at the end or whatever. So the water
Mhm.
flood informed me on that. But as far as like an adjective, isn't an adjective describing, was it a verb? Would it be or something like that?
Adjective describes nouns,
Or or describe nouns, my bad.
right?
Like
So
it's like shows the action that they're doing, or
right.
like or
Well,
describe.
but I think it can also. Matter of fact, I don't. Let me not misquote. Hold on. Let me make sure I
Mm-hmm.
can. I'll look it up because I think it
All
can
right.
go for verbs as well. Like to run fast. The fast is an adjective. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, I believe that's true. But like a black house or a white house, white would be the adjective, house would
Adjective,
be the
right.
noun. So you can use it either way.
Right. Okay. Adverbs, I think that's what describe a verb. I think, right? If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, my bad. It's
No,
been a
no, you
while since
can.
I've been,
I'm trying to tell you. No, you ain't
Adverbs.
lying about that. So I'm gonna just pull it up. Adverb
Okay.
meanings, get adjective meanings. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing wrong with looking up words. You know what I mean? I rather
Facts.
know than be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Share this tab instead. All right, adverb. A word or phrase that modifies or qualifies adjectives, verbs, or other adverb or a word group, expressing a relation of place, time, circumstance, manner, cause, agree, etc.
Hmm.
Ergo, gently, quiet, then there. You understand? It's basically this almost the same as an adjective. Here's the example. It says students are encouraged to pair back adjectives and adverbs in order to let the action present itself. Okay, that doesn't tell you how it's used, um, but yeah, adjectives and adverbs are oftentimes paired. They're damn near the same thing, except like I said, the adjective describes a noun or verb. Adverbs, like it says here, gently, quiet, then, there. Those are
Okay.
adverbs.
Got
I'm
you.
trying to think
So,
of what's the best way to distinguish.
God,
I guess I can just look it up. What
yeah. And
is the difference between adjective and adverb? Okay, this is a whole course. I don't want a whole course on it. Hold on. You had another question, sir?
yeah, nah, because I mean, I was just gonna ask on what way I use the adjective or the noun to use it for a person. Like, so, I mean, a person is a noun. I know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the adjective of it is like this is something that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
instead of them themselves being fear itself. You dig what I'm saying?
So the word you're looking for is something that they're doing. Like it's
Right, something they're
they have
doing.
fear.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind.
Right. So that would be well, it's hard to say. Okay. So like the adjective would be the fear like they have um like they are afraid. You feel me? You follow?
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Adjective
Kind.
the ra yara.
Yeah, without the ha at the end, right?
The adjective would be the yara, which means afraid, and
Okay.
then um, like having fear, or
Hmm.
where they put it. Uh, oh yeah, fear itself, terror. You understand?
Hmm.
Awesome or terrifying thing. That thing that is fear, or that is terrifying. That's Yahweh, which is a feminine noun.
Okay.
Just for educational purposes, it says an adjective is a word or set of words that modifies, i.e., describes a noun or pronoun. Adjectives may come before the word they modify. Now, in Hebrew, the adjectives come after the nouns. It's just a rule in Hebrew. So you'll say the noun,
Okay.
you'll say the adjective. Um,
Kind of. Which is
I,
similar to Creole.
I might have been yeah, right, and Spanish.
Kind of. Right. Right.
So I might have been wrong with the verbs on adjectives.
Not
Adjectives are noun and pronoun.
kind
What
of.
you
Kind
say?
of. Now you was on it. Adjective modifies nouns. Adverbs modify verbs.
Right.
That's like the simplest way to put it. But yeah, kind of. You was on it. But
Yeah.
all right. So the feminine is the ha at the end. Got that down
Mhm.
pat. Now for the action that they're doing is the yara'a. Now how would I include the Lord into it? Like for instance, let's say I want to say fear of the Lord.
Mm.
Would I say Ya Allah? Because you know how in most instances, I don't know if it qualifies in every instance, but in most instances that when a person have the Lord's name in their name, it will have that Allah in
Hmm.
there. You dig what I'm saying? So would it be Ya Ra'ah, Ya Allah
Yeah,
to
that's what I would say.
or okay,
Yeah, I would say Yara Ya Allah. Um, now General Muhammad might say something different. He might,
mm-hmm.
because he sees things a little differently. You know
Kind
what
of
I'm
dig.
saying? Like, so what you're trying to say might be better said in another way. You feel what I'm saying? But
Fact.
to be literal, Yara Ya Allah would be fear of the Lord.
That would be the fear of the Lord, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. The
Oh,
water. I appreciate your word for answering my question.
kind no sweat, sir.
I'm
Anytime.
about to the water where I'm about to start about it. Shalom. Y'all about to know stuff.
Shalom, y'all. What's going on, Trooper Amon Bayah?
Shalom Adawan Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
What's going on? Get this off the screen. Shalom, Shamara. Y'all Shamara done by some y'all shy. All right, you got any questions, Trooper?
La at the moment, sir.
All right, no sweat. I'm about to pull up these some symbols, right? So last week, what I went over was some of the characters, the Hebrew characters, right? Now, as I was writing the ancient Hebrew characters up on the board, um, I compared them to the modern day English alphabet and the Greek alphabet to show you the similarities between all three languages. Now, keep in mind basically the English alphabet was derived from the Greek alphabet. The Greek alphabet was derived from the Hebrew alphabet. So now I'm going to show you where the Hebrew alphabet came from. So I'm about to send this to myself real quick. Hey, what's up? Visualize 18 on Instagram. Anybody got any questions? I'm watching on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, so on and so forth. If you have a message, if you have a question, just type them in the chat. All right. Bear with me 1 second. Hold on, my bad, y'all. I'm having some technical difficulties. All right. So everybody can see this, right? So we have the symbolic roots of the Hebrew letters. All right, so as you can see, these characters here are what we're used to writing and reading. A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, kwa, ra, sha, tha, right? Well, all of these characters have an origin. They come from something, which is what I kind of went into last week a little bit, but I didn't have my notes with me, so I couldn't go in depth with it. But this is what you're seeing. This I is the head of a cow or ox. All right. The word for a cow or ox or oxen is alap. Cattle. All right. And all Adam did was he saw a cow and he drew his head. He drew his head. That's how he came up with this shape. And he turned it on the side. Then later on, America, really Greece, comes around and they turn this letter into the alpha. Then that became the A in the English language. All right. Next, you got this character. This character here is the Ba. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. All right. So after A comes the Ba, which comes from the house, right? The way that a house is shaped. That's what the shape comes from. House in Hebrew is Bayath. All right, so he gave that character the name Ba, or it represents the Ba for Bayath, because the Bayath, it looks like a house. So you know what I'm saying? The Ba, looks like a house, which is Bayath. So he named it Bayath, Ba. The Ga, Gamel is Hebrew for camel. This character right here represents the hump on the camel's back. All right, David saw the camel. He said, I'm going to name that the Gamel, aka the Ga, because of the hump on the camel's back. The Lath, is where the da comes from, which means door or tent flap. All right, so this little triangle here, right? It looks like the opening to a tent. All right, just like this house looks like a triangle, and the opening to this house looks like a triangle. It's the same way with the tent. So he named it the lath, the door. Okay, and that's where we get the character da from. Let me see. You have any questions yet? No questions? Okay, cool. All right. Next, we have the ha character. It comes from hana, which means to behold or look. All right. So imagine somebody looking over something. All right. These are like their arms. This would be like their head. And it comes from, to look, to behold. All right. The wa comes from the wawa, which means fish hook. This is what the fish hook looked like in ancient Israel, ancient the Garden of Eden, which, by the way, another class, but the Garden of Eden is in the land of Israel, not Africa. All right, you find that out when you connect all the rivers that it talks about in the book of Genesis. All those rivers connect in the land of Israel. Next, you have the Za character, which is the Zayan or weapon. I don't know if y'all can see this. Looks like two scythes tied to each other. All right, a scythe is what the farmers would use to harvest crops. All right, they would just chop away. It's kind of like how you see the Issacharites doing today. They got some type of blade that they go around and they chop down the vegetation. All right. Next, we have the kawama, which is a wall, partition, or gate, as you can see. Okay, the kawama is where we get the character kha from. This is the kha. Then you have the tana, which is a basket. This looks like the inside of a basket. That's where this character comes from. The ta. Tana. Oh, it's like a tana'a, which is basket. Then we have the yad, which means hand. All right. This is where David got the character Yah from. See that? This is the Yah. Comes from the word Yad, which means hand in Hebrew. Kap. All right. Kap means palm of your hand, this side of your hand. So the Yad is like this, just showing you a hand. The kap is the actual inside of your hand, which is where the character ka comes from. This is the origin of the character ka. All right, next you have the la. It looks like an L. Why? Because Greece took this character and used it for their language, and then over time, America developed their own version of the letter, which is now known as the L. Lamad means learn or staff. All right, this is supposed to be a staff. Like it. All right. Next, mayum. It's like a squiggly line and then a hook at the end. Well, these squiggly lines represent water. The ma comes from the word mayum, which means water, like a bunch of waves. All right. Now one, which means sprout. This is where the na comes from. All right. This na looks like a sprout. Like it came up out of the ground and sprouted. All right. Samak, which is the sa. Samak means establish. It's like a post, like a flag post. Because when America landed on the moon, they stuck their flag into the ground to establish their dominance in space. Samak, which is where the sa comes from. All right, then you have the ayun. Ayun is Hebrew for I, which is where the I comes from. This character right here is the Hebrew character I. All right, and it represents it comes from the actual I or ayun. You didn't know that's where they get the word I from. EYE comes from the Hebrew word ayun. IYAN. All right, next we have pa, which is mouth. The pa, which is what this character is, comes from the word pa, mouth. As you can see, this would be like the top of the mouth. This would be the bottom of the mouth, the way it curves down. Next, we have tazad. All right, tazad means side. All right, if you look closely, this is supposed to be someone laying on their side. This is like the body of a person from their side, not necessarily laying on their side, but someone's side. All right, this is the side of a person. That's what this represents, which is what tazad means. Okay. This character is the taza, which comes from the word tazad. All right. Quam, which means rise. Why did Adam come up with this symbol? Because it looks like someone rising. Some said, I also heard a breakdown. I'll probably have to clear it up, which one is the real one. This one looks like a person rising, but it also looks like the sun rising over the horizon. All right, so I guess it could be either one, but I'll double check with that. And then we have the Ra'ash. This character, by the way, is the Kwa. This character is the Kwa, which comes from the word Kwam, which means to rise. Ra'ash means head. This character, Ra, looks like someone's head from the side, like this head from the side. All right. So that's where the Ra comes from, the word Ra'ash, which is Hebrew for head. Then you have the character Shah, which comes from the word shun, meaning tooth. All right. This is supposed to represent teeth. This looks like a tooth. All right. So like Adam saw a tooth and named it and came up with this character after the word shun. All right, because a shun this is what a shun would look like. So he said, hey, I'm going to draw this, and it's going to represent tooth. It's going to represent shah or shun. I'm going to draw this X or this mark, which would be tha in Hebrew, and that's going to represent the tha character. This is Adam creating a language, a written language. All right, before Adam created this written language, everyone would just speak this language. Like this is just how you just spoke. Like, okay, think of like I don't like to say this word, but think of like cavemen. All right, cavemen spoke in simple language. Ah, ba ba, ra ra, ga ga, ah, shaba, ka, kwa, da 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 na sha sha. You know what I'm saying? Very barbaric. It's a very barbaric language. So it was just sounds at one point. Then Adam came and created a written language for this language. Understand? At one point in time, everybody spoke Hebrew. You understand? It's just the language that existed. Over time, people started to develop language, and you can read about this in the book of Genesis with the Tower of Babel. You understand? At one point, everybody spoke the same language. Then during the Tower of Babel, the Lord confounded everybody's language. You understand? And everybody who spoke the same language went to their own lands. Right? They started to work together in their own land and stopped working together to build this Tower of Babel, because of course they were trying to overthrow the Most High. They wanted to reach God and take his place in heaven. You understand? Or well, at least that's how the Most High saw it, and he put an end to that and confounded everybody's language, sent them off to where they was gonna go. All right, we kept our family held on to our language, which is Hebrew. All right, and it was passed down over time. It had certain changes. Then you got the Assyrian Hebrew. All right, this Assyrian Hebrew was developed around about our time in ancient Babylon. All right, during our captivity in ancient Babylon, we picked up the Assyrian Hebrew, which is not a different language. It's just a different characters. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I like to say, it's like writing in cursive versus writing in print. You know what I mean? So that's really all that changed. But that's where you get all of the characters from. If anybody got any questions about that, feel free to leave me to put a comment in the chat. Troop my mind by y'all. You got any questions?
Sir.
All right, no sweat. Hold on 1 second. All right. All right. Next, we'll go over prayer, the Psalms prayer, Psalms 121, which we read every Sabbath service, which is no matter of fact, we'll go over the Hakak prayer. So what people might hear, if you might tune into our Sabbath services and you might hear us praying or reading something in Hebrew, which we call Hakak, which is the prayer, the power. This is the prayer, the power prayer. Basically in English, it says, Most High, in the name of Christ, please give us the power to heal all sickness and all disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power over spirits, the unclean, to cast them out in the name of Christ. Thank you, so be it, right? So we're going to break that down in Hebrew and then into English, just so that you can understand what we're praying. Like, these prayers have real meaning. All right, we're not just up here saying blah blah blah, ga ga da da da. We're not. That's not what we're doing. When you hear the ISUPK speaking in Hebrew, it's because we're sending blessings up to the Most High. We're sending prayers up to the Most High, asking for blessings, asking for power, asking for justice, asking for peace, asking for rulership. You understand? The scripture says that there's more power in Hebrew. All right, that's in Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 1. All right, which I'll pull up real quick. If you don't know what Ecclesiasticus is, it's in the Apocrypha. Apocrypha means taken out. All right, these are books that were taken out from the King James 1611 Bible. So if you have a King James 1611, the Apocrypha is actually in that Bible. It wasn't taken out. But in the more modern King James Bibles, you don't have the books that are in the Apocrypha. So I'm gonna go to Ecclesiasticus real quick. As quick as I can. All right. So you see this on the screen, Amon? Are you
Counting on
busy? Are
one
you
con, sir.
driving?
No, I
You
was,
not?
sir. I was just looking up Ecclesiasticus.
Oh, okay.
Sword here. I
Oh,
was
okay.
gonna
No
get that
sweat.
for you.
Yeah, I mean, you could read it once you get it, if you don't mind.
Mm,
You should once you find it, you can start from. You don't have to read it from the top. You can start from where it says. You can start where it says, "Wherefore let me entreat you."
counting on one con. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 1.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the verse there. Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention,
Keep going.
and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words,
Mm-hmm.
which we have labored to interpret.
Right. This is something spiritual, all right? Because what you may not know if you're not a priest and officer in the ISUPK, what you may not know is we have to battle people who are reading an English translation of the Bible and they're basing their doctrine on what it says in English. And a lot of times what it says in English may give you a different interpretation because it doesn't have that same like in English today words change. English words change. English words have changed since the 1600s. The words that they use in the 1600s don't mean the same thing that they mean today. I'll give you an example. Like just just a quick one, like pause, right? Now, pause actually could mean to halt or make a brief stop. But today, you might hear somebody say pause, and it sounds like they're saying, no homo or something. You know what I mean? Or fair. The word fair today, people think it means white or light skinned. But fair does not mean light skinned, it means beautiful. All right. But because of white supremacy, because of slavery, the word fair went from being beautiful to meaning white or light skinned because, of course, these people think that you're beautiful if you have light skin, if you're white. You understand? Whereas you're not beautiful if you have dark skin. So words change over time. The best way that we can understand these scriptures is if we go back to their original meaning. The only way to do that is to do what? Find out what the Hebrew word that they used was, or find out what the Greek word that they used was. What does that word mean in Greek? What does that word mean in Hebrew? Then we'll have a better understanding. And we can break it down better. All right, keep going.
Counting on one con. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue
Mhm.
have not the same force in them.
See that? There's more force when you say things in Hebrew. These things are uttered in Hebrew, they have a different force than when they're translated. That's deep. That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like we go through that all the time when we're battling or we're proving a point. You understand? Those words, read that one more time.
Count on one con. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue
Mm-hmm.
have not the same force in them.
Right. This Bible was written in Hebrew and then it was translated into another language. You understand? It's not to discredit the King James Bible, but it's just not is not the same force because it was originally written in Hebrew or it was spoken, it was uttered in Hebrew. You understand? And a lot of times that you can say that with any language. If I say it in one language and then you have to translate, even sometimes when I speak to my, to my Hispanic brothers and sisters, and they're saying something in Spanish and then they're trying to get me to understand what it means, it's hard for them to really break it down. Like, yeah, I don't really know an English word for it. Like, so I got to give you the best similar word that would describe what I'm saying to you in Spanish. And it doesn't have the same force. So that's any language. But since this book was written in Hebrew and you're trying to translate it into English or you're trying to translate it into Latin or whatever language you want to translate it into, is not the same force. All right. So that's why we go back and we learn the Hebrew. And that's why we pray in Hebrew, the Lord's language. All right. So you can drop that. Where am I? Did I send that to myself? Here, keep going. There might be some more on that.
Count on one con. And not only these things, but the law itself
There you go.
and the prophets
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of the books
Yeah.
have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language.
There you go. Yeah, I'm glad I had you keep reading. You know what I'm saying? There's no small difference when you take these words and you read them in their original language. It's not a small difference. It's a big difference. It's what you Christians have to understand. If you're gonna break down the Bible, if you're gonna, teach the Bible, you have to know the Hebrew. You have to know what these words are, what they were originally written as. Let me see what it says. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them, and not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books. You understand? Everything those priests were saying, they were speaking in Hebrew. Everything the prophets prophesied, it was in Hebrew. That was just the language they spoke. You understand? This is telling you right here. That's what was going on. You understand? They have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. All right, so it's very important that you learn the Hebrew language if you want to understand the Bible. That's why this class exists. Tomorrow we'll be reading the Tanakh. All right, tomorrow we'll be reading out of the Tanakh, which is written in all Hebrew, and then we'll read the translation as well. But the thing about it is, you're not going to know what those words mean or how to translate them unless you know Hebrew. So that's why we learn the Hebrew. Let me see something. Let's take it so long. All right. So here is the prayer, Hakak the power. Okay. Can everybody see it? You can see the prayer.
Count on one con, sir.
All right, no sweat. So first word we have is Yahweh. What is Yahweh? Yahweh is the Most High's name. All right. The Most High's name is not God. You know, that's what you see here. This is the translation. This is what we said. Why? Because you don't want to say the Most High's name in vain. But because this is a teaching class, right? Because this is a teaching opportunity, you know what I mean? I'm using this teaching opportunity to teach you the Most High's name. The Most High's name has power. All right. And his name is Yahweh. If you didn't know, that's what the Most High's name is. It's not Yah. All right. It's not Hayah. It's not God. Just like your teacher's name is not teacher, your mom's name is not mom, your dad's name is not dad. God's name is not God. His his name is Yahweh. All right, and I could break that down to show you what it means. Well, I have that breakdown. I don't have it on hand right now. I got it in my notes somewhere, but I don't want to, speak wrong. All right, so the next word is Ba-ha-sham. All right, you have the Ba, the Ha, the Sha, and the Ma. This is the ancient. This is the ancient translation, or this is the ancient writing, and this is the Assyrian writing. All right, they both have the same meaning. They both are pronounced the same, and they mean in the name. Ba means in, Ha means the, and Shum, which is connected, means name. So we have Yahweh in the name, Yahweh Shai. Right? Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, which is the name of Christ. Yahweh Shai's name means he will save. All right, which is what they named him. The prophecy that tells you, you shall call his name Jesus because he will save his people. That's what his name means. Yahweh Shai means he will save. Baba Kusha. This is a word that a lot of people use, but don't know exactly what it means. All right. Baba Kusha is made up of a root word and a preposition. The preposition is ba, which is in. Right? Ba is in, and then the ba kusha is request. All right. So in request. Ba kusha. Ba kusha. In request. Or in other words, please. I'm asking. You understand? Baba kusha, I'm asking. In request. Next we have Nathan Lanawa. All right. Na, tha, na, la, na, wa. That's the spelling. Na, thun, la, na, wa. All right. Nathan means to give or just give. La is a preposition which means to. Nawa is us. That's exactly a what's it called? Why am I having drawn a blank right now? Possessive pronoun. Okay. Nawa is a possessive pronoun which means us or we. So Nathan is give, la is to, Nawa is us. Give to us. Okay. Hakak, the power. Ha-kak. So ha is the, kak is power. All right, it's a ka and a ha. Everyone understand? Ha, ka, ha. Hakak. All right, which is the power. And then you have the power again, hakak. La rapa'a. La rapa'a means to, which is the la. Rapa'a is heal. Call is an adverb, which means all. All right. All ma kala. All right. Kal ma kala, which means all sickness. Let me know if I'm going too fast. All right. Then you have wa called ma dawa. Wa called ma dawa. Wa kala ma dawa ha is the spelling. All right. So it's wa, which is and. That's a preposition. Call ma dawa. And all disease, which is ma dawa. All right. Ma dawa means disease. Hakak la tahar. La is two, tahar is clean or cleanse. All right, la tahar, to clean, to cleanse. Next word is ha matazarayim. Ha matazarayim. All right, ha is a preposition which means the. Matazarai is leper, right? Matazarai is leper. Adding yum at the end makes it plural. So now you have ha matazarai yum. I wish I could draw here, but I hope y'all can see the mouse. I'm trying to use the mouse as a pointer. So yeah, you have ha matazarai yum, which is the lepers with an S, plural. All right. Hakak, which is the power. Again, la haquayum. La haquayum, which is to rise. All right. To rise. Haquayum. La haquayum. Or to raise, I should say. It's a lot. To raise, not to rise, but to raise. Ha math yum. So ha, again, a preposition, which means the. Math is dead. Adding the yam makes it plural, so the dead plural. Right? Like you see here, the dead plural. Ha math yum. Ha math yum. All right. Hakak, again, which is the power. I'll, which we all know when we say, when we salute the sisters, we always say Shamar, Yahweh Shamar I'll Athun, Shem Yahweh Shai. I'll means over. All right. Shamar means to watch. I'll means over. So we're saying watch over you in the name of Christ. I'll over. Okay. Next we have Rakawath. Rakawath means spirits. Now, Rakawath is spirits. Raka, singular, is spirit. Understand? So now we have Rakawath, Ra. Now, here's I might have to help some people. If you might struggle with this word, that Wa, because it's connected to the Ra, it makes a R sound, raw. So it's raw, right? Like how you would say R-A-W, raw, right? Like something that's not cooked is raw. That's how you would pronounce ra-ka. Ra-ka, not ra-ka, but raw-ka. Ra-ka-wath. All right. Next we have ha-tama'ala. Ha being the preposition, meaning the. Ta-ma'ala, which is unclean. Okay. Ta-ma'ala is unclean. So ha, ta-ma'ala is the unclean. La garashun, to cast them out. La garasha and na. Right? So garash is to cast. Right? Well, no. Garash is cast. La garash is to cast. Right? So we have la garash, la garashan. La garashan, means to cast them out. All right, Bahasham in the name, Bahasham in the name. Yahweh Shai, once again, the water, all right, which means thank you. The wa da ha, the water, thank you. Aman, all right. Amen is the English translation for Aman, which means so be it. Right, Aman Bayah?
Count out of one count, sir.
People think that they hear amen and they think it's talking about a man. It's not talking about a man. All right. When you say amen, it does not mean a man. And therefore it does not mean a woman. All right. The opposite of a man is not a woman. A man means so be it, or truth. You understand? Like when 2 Chainz be like true, a man. All right. So that's Hakak the power. Are there any questions? Any questions in the room?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
So a part of my name is Aman, which translate as the shore, or I want to say house, shore house, right? Aman Bayat, right? So, and the word Aman there translate to so be it. So the difference in this, but even though they sound the same, there is a difference in spelling there.
How so?
Correct by saying that?
How so?
Well, my name, for example, is pronounced with the Aman, so A-M-A-N. And then this one, what I'm seeing here is A-H-M-A-N.
No, that's
well, with the
that's
English anyway.
Yeah, no, that's an error on your behalf. It's actually your name is spelled A-H-M-A-N. Anytime you have an I, there's an H at the end, unless it's connected with another name, another character. All right. So if the I was connected with something else, you know what I'm saying, then you would either take one of the letters away from the I, or a letter away from the other character. You understand? But it's always
exactly,
an H
sir.
in the I.
Always an H in the I. Oh, that's interesting.
And in fact, if the I ever falls at the end of a connection, like you have, like, let's say you have, okay, I'll put it like this. The I is never connected. Actually, the I is never connected with another number, another letter, especially not if it's at the end. If the I falls at the end of a word, then you have to pronounce the I. So no matter what character it is, if you see a ma, or if you see a ha, and then an ah, you're going to pronounce ha-ah. All right. If you see a ha at the end, you don't have to necessarily pronounce the ha like I was going over before. But it would be better to pronounce the ha if that word in fact is a feminine word. Some words just end with the ha, but it's connected, so you don't have to separate that ha. You get what I'm saying? So
gotcha.
that word, like Yahweh, for instance, like Most High's name, Yahweh, that ha at the end, it flows with the wa because they're connected. But if there was an I there, you would separate the I. You always pronounce the I, and the I always have a H. Or a H, as Benjamin might say.
God.
You leave the H. Okay.
The H.
Yeah. So yeah, your name is Aman. All right. So your name means like true house. You understand? Your name means true house or sure house, like you said. You know what I'm saying? They have the same meaning. So be it is means the same thing. Like, okay, in context. In context is everything. So if you see Aman, that can either be so be it could be true, it could be sure, it could be make sure, you know what I'm saying, or made sure, you know what I'm saying? But it just depends on the context.
I don't con. Like
Mm-hmm. If no one else has any questions, I'm gonna make an announcement real quick. The Florida Cookout coming soon. Make your preparations. You might want to start looking for flights now if you gotta fly in. If you have to fly into Florida, I would suggest now we're gonna put out more information. You understand when it gets closer to the date, but as it stands, your best bet would be to fly into PBI, which is the closest airport to the school. All right, Palm Beach International. That's the closest airport to the school that we have in Riviera Beach, Florida. However, you might be able to find cheaper flights at FLL, Fort Lauderdale Airport. Not the ideal flight because you're going to have to travel from Fort Lauderdale to Palm Beach, which is about 45 minutes distance. So if you have a car, if you have a rental car, then cool, you know what I'm saying? But if not, then it's gonna be an issue getting away from Fort Lauderdale to Palm Beach. Especially if you get a hotel in Fort Lauderdale. If you're getting a hotel in Fort Lauderdale for the prices, you're just gonna have to take into account the drive from Fort Lauderdale to Palm Beach, which is about 45 to 50 minutes. All right. But it will be this June from the 21st to the 23rd. All right. That's Friday to Sunday. We'll have more information about the itinerary very soon. However, right now, you know the dates. You know, you should start planning your trip if you plan on coming down. June 21st to the 23rd, Palm Beach, Florida. Florida Florida Southern Cookout. All right. So I hope to see y'all there. Until then, you got the announcements, Amanda, or you want to?
sir.
No sweat. If you could just salute everybody out. And pass the class over to Trooper Mambaya. You know how it goes?
Sir.
All right, no sweat. I'm gonna teach you right now. So when the class ends, if you're the shamar for the class, what you're gonna do is you're gonna tell all the men that we're gonna give a courtesy salute to the class or to the teacher. And then you're gonna tell them to stand, which is Imajim. Then you're gonna tell them Imam Shabbat, which is to stand at ease or stand at rest. Then you're gonna go back to Imajim. All right. And then Barak, which means bless. And everybody's gonna say the salute for the brothers. All right. How about all right. And then for the sisters are gonna stand. You're gonna tell the sisters to stand, and the men are gonna face the sisters. I'm sorry, I'll take that back. Everybody's gonna stand. When you get the salute, you're gonna tell everybody to stand at Imajim. Then you're going to tell the men of Israel to stand at Imam Shabbat, and then Imajim, and then Barak. And the sisters are going to be standing with their hands folded like this until we get to Barak. All right, so you're going to do the same thing. Imam Shabbat, Imajim, and then you're going to say Barak. The brothers are going to put their fist over their chest and say the salute. The sisters are going to place their hand flat over their chest and give the salute back, which is Yahweh Shamar al Thun Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, you want to give it a shot?
I guess I go ahead and try it. Let's go.
We learning. You know, this is what class
Let's
is
do
for.
it. Got on my car. Let's do it, sir. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amajim. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Barak. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
All right, now the sister.
Sisters,
also, real quick, you gonna after we get a salute, you want to say Yad Yam Matah. Yad Yam Matah means hands down. Yad Yam is hands, Matah is down. So you want to say Yad Yam Matah, which means hands down.
Yad Yam Matah means hands down. Sisters, if you please stand. Men of Israel, face the sisters, give them a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Barak. Yahweh Shemal El Taba Hashem Yahushai.
Oh, what's going on, sis, man? All right.
She in here with me, sir, making sure I do it right. I got you. I got you. She said salam, sir.
Now you gotta tell them hands down.
What was it again?
Yad Yam Matah.
Yad Yam Matah.
Right, there you go. Now you want to say class dismissed.
Class dismissed.
What's on my Christ? All right, you worried?
The
water.
The water, sir.